Item number 11 is to consider approval of lease agreement with Erica Barnes to use parking lot formerly owned by St. Augustine until construction begins. Lisa's drawn up something. Erica Barnes has purchased that parking lot to construct the office building there, and we were currently doing snow removal on the parking lot. Is that correct, Jimmy? We have done it in the past when it was necessary.
Still leased that parking lot?
The lease was just up with St. Augustine, so they have sold the building February the 1st.
We didn't renew that though, did we? See, because I remember back we discussed it, they were letting, when we first did it years ago, and actually it was Judge Harrigan entered into that contract, that's when they're letting
In parking.
a lot of parking.
Yeah, we actually paid to use it at one time.
That's correct.
Last time we did it, we just, sealed it, maybe start.
Yeah, we agreed in lieu of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
They requested us to pave it this time, and we did not renew that lease. Erica Barnes does not want to not let people park there because it is a benefit to the people of Marion County to use that parking lot. So she just asked if we would be interested in doing that until she begins construction, and to carry insurance, and to, if snow removal is necessary, that we would do it. So that's why I'm requesting if we do it, that's fine. If we don't, she's probably going to rope the parking lot off to.
My only question is, and I think it's a great idea, but at the same time, my only question is that the reason that, if I remember correctly, back when we did it, the reason we did it is because it was, we had the courthouse and we had the judge's office down on the corner, and we did that because we didn't have any parking for the courthouse.
That's correct.
Well, my only question is now, is it legal for us to expend dollars inside the incorporated city like that? I guess I'm saying, what are we going to use it for? And is it legal?
Pretty much public parking.
We don't do snow removal in the parking lot.
You don't?
No, city doesn't.
They don't do it either.
They don't do it.
No.
Well, they should.
They don't. So that was Erica's concern. She's not gonna she don't let it, don't want it to sit there and not be used. And if we would do it, she's okay with it. If we don't have to do it, is what I'm trying to say. It's a good parking lot. A lot of people, I think Lisa uses the parking lot, matter of fact, so there's a lot of people who use the parking lot, so.
So let me ask you this, how much is it? What's
Our
cost?
insurance on that is, it's a blanket,
Well, that and the lease, how much is the lease?
nothing. The lease is nothing.
She doesn't want
So
anything.
basically just carry insurance on it.
Exactly. And snow removal.
Well, if it's,
Yeah, the terms of this basically includes, the only thing that we put in there was that they would do snow removal and salt if needed, and carry insurance, is what it's stated in here.
Until she starts construction.
And it's only gonna be a couple of months that it's gonna take place, because she's ready to, if she had her plan, she'd start tomorrow.
I think she was doing it to continue. She didn't want people to
She's a
think
good
she
neighbor.
Yeah,
off this,
exactly.
hey, I'm cutting everybody out from parking in there. She's doing it as a kindness or courtesy to people.
It's a civic duty, allow citizens to park there.
Yeah, exactly.
remember Junior Weisers put the ropes up on the gas.
Yeah, exactly,
That's a
yeah,
favorite first. She can do that.
yeah,
She's doing it to be kind,
Right.
yeah.
but I understand your point as well. I mean,
I'm just asking.
yeah, the courthouse has moved, but.
We continue to do it up until,
People still park there. I mean, I know I can tell you when people do trips, I don't know if there's any trips, a lot of people park there when I'm not sure what they're gonna do when Erica builds her building, but they're gonna figure something else out now.
Did we carry insurance on it last year, Kevin?
we did, up until about, 2 months ago is when it was up, something like that.
Judge, why don't, Mr. Cock, why don't you find out what the cost of that insurance is and let us know, and then we can rock and roll, because I'd have to know what the cost of the insurance, if it's nominal, it's one thing, if it's,
Might not get one or two snows, or may get a whole bunch,
Yeah, I think the best process would be is that if we carried the insurance and the city cleaned it, That way we all get benefit from it.
And the general citizen got a place to park.
Yeah. But if you let us know, we'll go from there. Thank you, Lisa.
All right, next item is department reports. Jimmy?
Yes, sir, I need to order 14 cars, put back in stock. $4,190.40.
You gonna, is there any more money items on, that's on the motion to approve the purchase of the tires?
Second.
We're getting by cheaper, so we
Yes.
better.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes. Mayor Shakir, I'm glad you asked that question. So,
Get it all in one.
Me and the judge have been talking, and I've been talking with the city, up there in their recycling. City Farm, they got 2 dump places involved in this, we'll get some paperwork all that, but, we wanna loan them a truck where they've got access to put their extra recycle stuff that they won't go away in a truck and help clean them dumpsters, keep them dumpsters up there clean. On weekends, it's a mess.
yeah.
And I've been talking to some of them, and they said that they would do it if we left the truck up there, so she's gonna look into it.
I've talked to Candace Inglebury about that today, so she's looking at it from her aspect as well, so.
So if we get that lined up, I'd like to get that done.
They keep dumpsters open up there on the weekends and they get full, so Monday morning we got a mess to pick up, and they have a guy on call all weekend that could go up there and service those dumpsters with the truck, so.
Yeah, and
I think
they're
it's
constantly overflowing.
It's constantly overflowing, so.
Save them getting mess up there Monday morning.
Motion to approve, if approved by approved by the county attorney and the city attorney.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
I got a few jobs going on down Frog Lane. There's some Macklin guys on some land down there, big trees, falls, they dead. He's given us permission to take that out and widen the road for sight distance, and that, we're gonna be doing that. And also, me and the judge Keith went out on Post Creek and looked at a pretty good sized job. We got to get division of water in on it. Whenever Keith gets that done, that's gonna be a 2 or 3 week project.
I'm sorry, so you are getting an approval from the, good job, man.
You have to.
And, still got the boom mower, ditcher out running. If y'all know of anything, just let me know. I put a little thing on the back, new matches, where they kind of know what it costs for a few things you got out there tomorrow. Y'all got any questions?
Did we get back down onto Sulphur Lick and get the ditcher ran through there any?
I ain't got it down that way yet.
Okay.
It's out.
And that pothole on Sam Brannon came back.
It came back?
Yeah.
Or it never was got?
Well, it's still there. All right.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Jimmy, what about you wanting somebody to look at your Caterpillar?
Yeah, I'm gonna get somebody to come look at our track loaders. It ain't gonna cost nothing, but, they gonna come and look at it and see how much it's gonna cost to put tracks on. I've been here and it's gonna cost $20,000, so I'm gonna have to bring y'all whenever,
He's right.
somebody look at it. But I just told you,
How old are the tracks?
how old are they? They got 3,100 hours on them.
But if you're gonna keep the load.
Need to look too at what that track loader saved this county and not
When I get on the
renting
hillside
dozers.
right now, I mean, if anybody run a dozer, you know, when you sit on new tracks and you sit on wore out ones. No filter.
Well, I'd stay around my district. It's a lot flatter than some of these others, all right? So, yeah.
Your main loader too, and the main,
Yes, the main load, yes.
We need to get somebody to look at it and get a bid, and then we'll go from there on it. But
That's what I'm gonna do.
like I said, you look at the dollars it saved us and all the jobs you've been able to complete with it, so.
But I'll get something together and bring it back. For y'all, that's right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Need to stay with the Caterpillar stuff. I think it's that much difference, I know. 'Cause we was
You can
talking about
save a
this.
little bit of stuff to get.
You can save aftermarket, but it's not worth the money.
Sounds good. Service.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Keith?
Yeah, I attended the meeting this morning over at Lincoln Trail Address, which is too late to get into the report. In May, late May, early June, we're gonna have a tire amnesty. We have it every 3 years, so we can bring tires in. And, with the salvage yards, the dealers, and there's some people that are exempt that can't bring tires, but for the farmers and the individuals that have waste tires to get rid of, we'll be taking them to the state highway maintenance barn, just like we always do. It'll probably be a 3-day event, Thursday, Friday, and probably half a day Saturday. It'll be free. We'll have inmate labor there to take them off and help them with them. And last time we did this, 2 years ago, we had about almost 17,000 tires, which was really down because the one before that was 26,000. So we're really doing something
It's a lot of rubber.
But I wanted to apprise you of that because we're going to have it probably late May, early June. And I'll be advertising it just like we always do, and we'll take care of that.
I was asked about that today.
Pardon?
I was asked about the tire thing today.
Right. And the reason I'm telling you as soon as I find out is because I know you all have constituents maybe that ask you if they ask me. I said, well, I don't really know until the state schedules it, but it is scheduled. It's late May and early June. Second thing is, we found out through a majority in the county, just passing a message to us about these water quality permits. We kind of assumed that if the watershed for the water quality permit that we're requesting didn't serve 640 acres, which is a square mile, then we didn't have to, we had to have a permit if it was over that. Anything under 640 acres, we were exempt from permitting. Well, I think maybe a local county had their, not us, but another county had their hands smacked because they just found out that it was less than 640 and they didn't apply for a permit. Even though it's less than 640, like Phillips Lane Bridge, it's 480. We still have to apply for a permit, and then they will grant us an exemption because it's under the acreage. So I just want to let you know that. And we're going to do it according to oil. And I'm glad that the other county told us about it because they apparently got kind of chastised on it. They've really raised the level of enforcement on these water quality EPA permits. And I don't know what other counties are going to do. I mean, we're able to do it here, but it's really going to be expensive for some of these other counties. But we'll be fine here.
All right. Thank you, Keith. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Keith. Barry?
Received a notice from the U.S. Marshals today. I guess we got our effect from the federal government shutdown, so they consider our services for housing federal inmates essential, but they're not going to be able to pay us.
We really like your place, yeah.
But we're an essential service, but so they will back pay us. But, I mean, I feel fortunate. I mean, I wish we had more, but we only got less than 2% of our population is federal inmates. You take Grayson County, it's got 70-75%. They're going to run without some pay for them.
Just building a new facility over there for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, we got our notice today on that. I put in the pack. I don't know if I can give it to the court in December or not, but the judge and myself both wrote letters to Senator Higdon in regards to the per diem and the fact that we're going on 14 years since there's been an adjustment on the per diem. And I have always been a stats type, so I'd run the stats on if they'd have put a CPI on it, where we would be at with our per diem stuff, which would still be a lot less than any of the prison operations in the last 14 years, what kind of gains that they had. Nonetheless, Senator Higdon filed a bill on January the 8th that had a statement in it that said that if jails were ACA accredited, that they would be preferred housing for state prisoners, which we dropped that, and it really has no money. part to it. So I phoned Senator Higdon this week and said, I know that, the judge and I had sent letters, we're concerned about that, and it's not a budget year, but we're still concerned. We want to get an adjustment for the county jail per diem. And I advised him that the statement that they put in there, even though it brings Lou to possibly having performance-based jails someday, it doesn't have any immediate effect on us right now. So anyway, so he is now going to try to schedule possibly a meeting with myself and the Secretary of Justice. So the judge and I both cede copies to the Secretary of Justice's office on the per diem issue that we had. So after this conversation, I made a phone call to the Executive Director of the Kentucky Jailers Association, because I've usually been the one that's in the state that's trailing by myself on performance-based wording and initiatives and stuff. But now it seems that I guess we've been 14 years. No one feels that we're going to be able to apply to get the legislators to open budget. They're not going to open budgets. But we would like to possibly get Senator Higdon or someone else to file a bill that would acknowledge that the county governments need to have a CPI on the housing per diem. Now that doesn't make an immediate fix, but it would set the road for next year when they open the budget. And the plans are, and this is a very unique position we haven't had in the past, is having some others coming on board. They're using some of the data that I've researched and applied, and they are now saying that they're in for having the state to apply a minimal adjustment to all the per diems across the state, and then incentive-based per diems on addition to that for the jails that offer the programs, that do the accreditations, that do the other things that we've been a part of. So I tell you that, and I bring it to you because it's something that we all, as government officials, we are our lobby for our county and stuff. So I ask you to make sure that I'll try to make you as fluent and with the information that's going on with our budgets and stuff. But it's time. It's time that the state, 14 years, the cost of housing, if you look on the back part of the graphs and stuff that I even did a presentation with the judge went with me to legislators back in July, June, something like that, this year, maybe one part of the year last year. And I'm pushing that stuff forward. If the Jailor Association is ready to come on board, we need the Managers Association and we need the Judges Association. We need to get this conversation rolling. It's gone far enough now, but you take North Point. North Point was in, $30, $40 a day 14 years ago, and $60 some a day. County hasn't had any adjustment. So
real quick, I'm just curious. Is there a reason Senator Higdon didn't include that in the initial bill he filed in regards, as opposed to leaving that open statement of?
It was one of the statements that we utilized it was similar to the statement we utilized in 2012, possibly, when we were under accreditation and we had more of a competitive trying to get inmates because of this field beds. So it was kind of like that statement, but I just let you know it didn't fill the bill or pay anything for us at all.
So I know in the past it's a little different, but now the Jailers Association supports that?
Yes.
The Jailers Association, because I know at one time there's a lot of dissension.
The director advised me today on the conversation, because I told her, I said, that's kind of been like the black sheep of the state of Kentucky out here trying to push this change. And she said, we're with you. There's no naysayers as much as it was years ago. They kind of see the writing on the wall. And so again, my conversation with the Secretary of Justice and the meetings with him in the last couple of years is, the intent and the conversations are received well, and that's where they want to be able to pay the ones that are performing. And so it looks like it could be open door. It's not going to be anything immediate.
Well, we'll tell you this, we have our legislative day on February 14th, and we'll all be going to Frankfurt, so, but I will tell you this, and that the Magistrates Association and the Judge Association, but I know on legislative day for the past 3 years, one of their top 3 items was an increase in the per diem. But again, I don't mean this wrong, we just get deaf ears, so.
Well, here's
just so you
one
know.
here's one thing, and I tell you, so the executive director tells me today that, so they're using my model, my data as a sounding block for legislators to look at. You just take what I put together, when you look at that if they would have tied a CPI to us, when they did the adjustment, if they would have tied a CPI, we would right now be at $51 a day on our program beds, and we're still $12, $15 less than a state prison house.
Well, that's another one, I don't mean this wrong, but the fact is, that's another one of the failed promises of the past, because when the county first built this facility, that was what the state, the House and the Senate, that's what they pushed, is that, hey, build it and we will support you, because they wanted to get out of the detention business.
They've rode the back of the counties for 14 years. We're going approaching 14 years on this. So I'm just saying, take the information. If you have that opportunity when you're speaking with the senator or representatives, express your support of county jails having an adjustment to the per diem that's paid to us.
Senator Higdon
We support performance-based.
he was here this morning, and it was brought up, so I did bring it up, but again, I don't.
I don't know again, you're welcome to share any of my data. I send it to Frankfurt on a regular basis, but we just need to.
The state's missing the boat, because, they're getting pressure all over the state about this. But if they would go to the cost of living index, or if they would have some type of incentive base for the programs and for the accreditation, they could set themselves apart and say, okay, they could hold their money a little longer and not take the heat. You see what I'm saying? So, but I don't understand why they won't step
Very
up.
well. So I'm going to go ahead and try to schedule a meeting with the Secretary of Justice myself, so
Good luck.
the judge can go ride with it. So it's good. All right.
Thank you for everything else, all right?
Other than I got my monthly reports in there, we're still critiquing that every month. We haven't ever got any questions back from you all, so I take it that everybody understands them. But we will be doing another operational training when we get to budget time.
What's it supposed to
With
be?
those numbers.
They think it's still on.
Thank you.
It's not transmitted, is what he thinks it is.
Robert?
Currently, we've been through 116 calls for service since January 1, and I checked on our new email. Hopefully, within 2 weeks.
That'd be good.
So after we get it here, it'll take us about 2 weeks to get everything on, ready, everything, specified state. Hopefully, within a month, we'll have a
Good deal.
big problem.
Good deal.
As long as I'm back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good deal.
Did you get you do a remount?
Yeah. I was just close off.
Said there's no hope for that chassis.
Thank you, Rob. Gary?
Lori's out of town. She had nothing to relay. I got nothing going on that I can say right now. The only thing is, you guys cross your fingers for this weekend. Calling for 3 inches of rain Saturday and dropping down to the low teens, and maybe 3 inches of snow come Sunday morning. So
They're giving ice, they're giving ice as well.
situation. Now, one thing
That's what you like.
He's ready or not. Anyways, my renewal expires in February. So if you'd like me to continue on as assistant, let me know so I can get the state and start the paperwork.
Now, do we do that, or is that something that actually Lori does? Okay, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
But she's out, and so of course if I ask her, then she's got to run through you guys. So I'm just trying to do one jump ahead.
Gotcha. Sounds
Would you
good.
be willing to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same pay? You know, as Jethro says, naught times naught. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate all you do, bud.
Appreciate you.
Gary, I'm still having concerns with the siren at St. Joe. Has Alex said anything else? I know he was saying that he thought it was not receiving the signal. I didn't know if he'd had a chance to, I haven't talked to him myself. I can call him as well. But
He's not said nothing to me directly.
I know it had parts ordered on a few of the others. Have any of those been repaired?
That I cannot answer.
Okay.
Because I know at Christmas time, he had ordered the parts and some of them were in. And we were talking about how to go about and finding a lift, like you mentioned a couple of names.
Brandon Lee has agreed to let us use his truck. So
And I'm yet turn
it's,
off hours and so
yeah,
forth.
Darren's good. He's all
So
fired.
after that conversation, you were more directly involved. I've not heard anything.
I haven't heard anything else back from Alex either, but I will contact him.
Yeah, I'll just give him a call and see, but
I don't think it's an RF issue because I went down there and took a 5-watt portable, and you can key the transmitter. So, you know, if you can with the 5-watt portable, you should be able to with that antenna up there. So,
should.
yeah. But anyway,
Thank you, Gary.
let us know on that. Thanks, Gary.
Larry, anything on the animal shelter?
Yeah, I talked to Kay earlier, and she said everything's going well, and they've got what'd you say, 17 dogs, a bunch of dogs going this weekend?
Yeah, 17.
Going out of state somewhere, ain't they?
Yeah.
They've just been real busy. Everything's,
Said she was taking 17 and not bringing any
yeah,
back.
so, yeah, that's what she promised. She wasn't gonna bring any back.
She got two dogs going to Super Bowl or something, doesn't she?
Yeah, what about that? That's awesome. I tell you what, that is. That's a good arc on the paper
Hey,
there.
real quick before I go on, did you ever decide anything on the bridge, Phelps Bridge? I know they got those bids, y'all were gonna look at them.
We're gonna have to resubmit some of that stuff, ain't we?
I talked to the Washington County Judge Executive yesterday. They've been in touch with another contractor that's willing to maybe start back doing it again. He wants an opportunity to look at them as well. And last time he did it, he was very reasonable. I'm not saying they weren't reasonable, but I think we might need to just rebid it all out and try to, there's about 80 different builders, bridge builders in the state of Kentucky. I think we need to probably just send it out to as many as we can. Hopefully we'll get some more competitive bids on that, because it was.
Somebody called asking the status, well, actually one of the builders, and I said we hadn't decided because you were still looking into it, and I just told him I'd relay a message to him.
Yeah.
That we're still
Trying to do it as cheap as we can.
Okay. Yeah, I just forgot that earlier, so.
Hey, well, we're continuing to connect employers and job seekers. We're even working with some of our students. Everything's going fine for us now. Any questions for me?
Had a job fair today, something didn't you? You told me today that.
Terry was at the job fair and I helped out for it.
Good deal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. The next item is executive session per KRS 61810F regarding personnel.
Motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Fogle.
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Are you Judge Burton?
Come back in.
Got a second?
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Yes.
Under old business, no action was taken in executive session. The next item is under old business and new business. A is to consider approval of contribution to Marion County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $100,000 to start year 2019.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Fogle.
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes. Correct.
And B is to consider approval of annual contribution to the Bradbursville Youth League. Is that $2,500?
That's that application.
That's an annual one we do every year.
Annual, it's in the budget.
Correct.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Hunter.
Yes.
Mr. Carter.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Does anybody else have anything?
No, sounds, pay the bills. Motion to pay the bills, exception.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes. And Mr. Kirk? Yes. MTA?
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Thank you.